you're trying to run away. I'm lost, lost inside your maze. You hit me like a hurricane. Pull me away. There's no
All right. Good morning. I think most of us are here. It's the 21st of January. It's 8:33 in the morning, and we're gonna play some D&D. We are session 83 of Odyssey, the Dragonlords, titled Fang. Sus. But before we get into it, we will do like we always do a recap of last week's session, and we'll jump into it. If Acadia is here.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Streaming to you live from my last Sunday in Washington, D.C.
Can you hear Ingorgio?
Hello?
I can hear
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear her.
Okay. When we were last in our session, our heroes were fighting two golems. Armetrius and Vengeance were fighting one by themselves, and Arcadia, Corbin, and Nika were fighting the other. And as we're fighting, we hear footsteps, and Gravik joins us. And Armetrius ends up killing one of the golems by himself and goes and says, "You boys need some help?" And Arcadia says, "Nope," as she takes it down with her last shot. Armetrius grapples Gravik and casts Lesser Restoration on him, hoping to cure him of his touching ailment. While that's going on, Arcadia investigates to the south and finds a closed door. She listens and hears wriggling. And we don't know if the Lesser Restoration actually does not help Gravik as he continues to touch things. But we are investigating doors, and all of a sudden, Ametrius stops and says, "I'm sorry, is that a goat? And what's that doing here?" And our DM says it's following Arcadia, and Arcadia is like, "Fuck, really?" And Demetrius leans over, grabs it by its neck, and lifts it up and turns to Arcadia and says, "Is this yours?" And she says, "No." Bleats. It seems like a normal goat. He throws it at Gravik because we had left a goat in Gravik's room for him to touch so he could touch something that wasn't his. And Demetrius says, "Take care of your own pets, man." So Arcadia fills Gravik in on the important information that if we run into Lutheria, she tells a joke, he should laugh at it or she's going to sew your mouth shut. And if she challenges anyone to the royal game and we play her, we need to let her win. So when we go to the door to the west, Corbin opens it, and the floor of this chamber is filled with huge writhing worms that wriggle and squirm over each other. The effect is quite disturbing. A narrow bridge crosses to the other side of the room, some 5 feet above the hideous writhing worms. A featureless humanoid golem stands guard in the middle of the bridge. Demetrius says, "I fucking hate worms." And he's starting to have second thoughts about the whole thing, but it's a little late. He looks So Corbin flies over to the golem and drags it over to the corner into the worms so the bridge is unoccupied. And Demetrius looks like a swimmer before he dives. He's hyping himself up, hopping a little bit and taking a deep breath and runs across. So the worms can't crawl out of the pit, and the golem doesn't look like it could fit through either door of the room. Nico runs across, and there are hundreds of worms wriggling. Oh, my belly, it's making me seasick. And Gravik looks at the worms, says, nope. Let's hold his hand out and let's a fireball rip, sculpting it around Corbin, although the worm guts still cover Corbin. And Gravik moves across the bridge, which is now covered with worm guts and maybe a wiggling head, and is a little slippery now, but happy with the effect of it, with all the dead and smoldering worms. He covers his nose to avoid the scent and slowly walks across the bridge, thinking that he's taking care of the threat, until later on he finds out they weren't a threat at all. Arcadia runs across, and we see more closed doors. She doesn't hear anything at one of them, and as she walks on, Demetrius just opens it. And in this room, the walls and floors are covered in a thick mucus slime that almost seems alive. The floor is marked by strange engravings that look like a grid. On opposite sides of the room are levers on the walls. One lever is shaped like a worm, while the other is horn-shaped. A shapeless humanoid figure stands in the chamber next to the worm-shaped lever. When Demetrius opens the door, the golem pulls the lever, and a bunch of worms fall onto the ground. And Demetrius says, I'm sorry for bothering you. It seems we made a mistake. And he tries to close the door, but it's too late. And then he says, before you say anything, Arcadia, it could have been treasure, okay? And she's like, what? Because she's already down at the next door and asks what's in there. And he says, you don't want to know. And so these juvenile purple worms start attacking and hitting Demetrius, and they do deal some poison damage. But Gravik moves to see, and he casts Storm Sphere, and they close the door. So the storm remains in there, and he causes a lightning bolt to hit the golem. And Corbin shoots a thunder wave into there before they close the door. So now it's like microwave popcorn. You hear this zapping because the storm sphere continues on for a minute, and we wait until the zapping stops. And but while that's happening, we go to the next door that she doesn't hear anything. Actually, she does hear some wiggling, more wiggling. So Demetrius has now refused to open any more doors. Corbin opens the door, and this must be some sort of breeding chamber for the worms. Two giant purple-colored worms, more than 30 feet in length, are chained and entwined with one another in the center of the room. Three featureless humanoid golems work on the worms, paying little attention to anything else in front of them. And Corbin closes the door. Gravik remembers that we could use some parts of the purple worms to make teeth, their teeth to make teeth. And Corbin seems very interested in harvesting them, but we decide not to waste our resources at the time, and we can always come back later because we're not sure what we're going to need to do in order to find the weapon. So Nico, though, back up at the microwave popcorn worms, the zapping has stopped. And Nico opens the door, and the center is like a big grate, and the guts are drained and oozing through the slots because all the worms are dead, and the golem is gone. And he steps onto the walkway and pulls the lever with the horn, and the grate opens up. Demetrius stands on the edge and peers down into it, and he lights a torch and throws it down the hole. He hears it hit the side, then it goes around a corner, and he loses sight of it, and he doesn't think the weapon is down there. So we leave that room with the grate open. So now we go down to the last door on this hallway. This long hall has a strange floor. The floor appears to have dozens of small holes, each with an iron covering. At the far end of the hall, there is a circular metal door with a small lever located beside it. And after pondering, should we send Corbin or Nyx or Gravik over, Demetrius is wanting to shut the door as soon as anything might come out of those grates. So we decide not to send anything living or animated through there. Nyx. Sentient, I should say. So Demetrius tells his rope of climbing to attach to the lever and pulls it. And Gravik is now petting Nyx, and Arcadia is watching him very carefully. So as Demetrius commands the rope to pull down on the lever, As soon as it does, the door in front of us slams shut and we hear a mechanical lock locking the door. And Demetrius says, I really need that rope back. And he tugs at the rope, but there is no wiggle room to pull. And we hear inside the room a hissing sound of most likely a gas being released. So we have investigated all we can down this hallway. We ask Nyx to stay. She grasps the end of the rope with her talons and is prepared to return with the rope as soon as the door opens. So we go back to the other door, the one that Demetrius was standing in front of when we first fought the two golems. And we open that one. Arcadia opens it, and featureless humanoid golems stand silent and still in a sad crowd at the center of this room. There are a dozen of them. Some have missing arms, while a couple have missing heads. There are two doors, one to the south and one to the west. And Demetrius walks right in, and they start to harvest golem parts because Demetrius seems to recall reading, or not reading, but hearing in Vulcan's Forge that parts of them could be very valuable. So they manage to get two golem cores. Corbin is bored, opens the door to the west, and he sees a large 2-foot wide black sphere floating at the very center of the room, and the sphere seems to absorb light. He calls Gravik over to investigate, and Gravik has no idea what it is, but sees a sign against the door to the west. He casts Comprehend Languages, touches the word, and it says spike. And he opens the door next to the sign, and he sees a large pit looking down into a vast chamber. He goes into the room and Corbin joins him. A large pit looks down into a vast chamber that makes up most of the Iron Cube's interior. Inside, a gargantuan nightmarish creature slumbers. A thick, spiny brown carapace covers the back of the immense reptile, which resembles a predatory lizard with clawed forelimbs slightly smaller than its legs. If the monster has eyes, they are not clearly visible from their current position. They don't see any weapons and don't even see the full creature or the bottom of the chamber. But Corbin sees that Spike is sleeping and believes he is the weapon we should awaken. Gravik moves over to the door to the south and listens, and he opens it. And he finds a room that is colder than the rest of the complex. There are 4 huge floating spheres marked by ancient runes. The walls are also covered in the same runes, which he can read thanks to Comprehend Languages, and they are a bunch of different stories talking about Spike. And as we are there, we're starting to get the feeling that this entire cube is a big prison for whatever Spike is. And Corbin says, I think we need to release Spike. And Demetrius thinks maybe the worms are food for him. Corbin flies into the deep pit to get a better look at what's going on down there and is careful not to touch Spike. And he sees that Spike is very, very large. And he gets to the bottom, it's about 100 feet down, and he finally sees his feet. And he does not see anything holding him in place or keeping him asleep, but he does see a big pile of blood where the chute that Nico saw from the other hallway with the grate, that's where the chute ends. And Corbin thinks he needs to release it. Demetrius casts Divine Sense on Spike and detects nothing, so we know he is not a Titan or at least a god. Then we look to the final door on that hall, the south, and Arcadia opens it. And this chamber is dominated by an unearthly table with several goblets on it, each filled with a purple liquid. Sitting at the table is a faceless humanoid dressed in a flowing cloak, and beside him are 3 bronze constructs that are designed with his likeness. The humanoid has a strange-looking talisman around its neck. And one of the automatons, which the humanoid is speaking through, looks at Arcadia and says, she assumes that we have broken in here to free Spike. And she asks, is there a reason why he's locked up here? And it says, well, it does bring death and destruction wherever it goes. And she asks, indiscriminate or against particular beings? And it says, anything it can come across. And it assumes we want to release him to kill Lutheria, and it knows that we are the heroes of the Oracle. And it says it can tell us how to awaken Spike, but in return, we must swear an oath to kill Lutheria and bring her crystal scythe back to him. And Corbin is kind of keen on doing this, but he wants the humanoid, to swear an oath not to hurt us with the scythe. But Arcadia reminds him that Granny A told us if we find Lutheria's crystal scythe and bring it to her, we can restore Nico's family's memories. But then Gravik says, it looks like Spike is going to wake up in 100 years or so anyways, and we're wondering how he knows that. And he has noticed the big hourglass at the top of the cube that we saw when we entered it. And he says it has about 100 years left before it runs out, which leads Arcadia to ask the creature what the date is. And it tells her the date, and it looks like it's only been a day since we left for our whole journey to the constellation of the blacksmith, since we left Mitros, if we can believe it. But we decide to take a poll as to whether or not we want to release Spike. And Corbin is strangely very, very enthusiastic about releasing this creature that says death and destruction follows him everywhere. And we find that Gravik starts asking why they're letting Spike out in about 100 years if he's so dangerous. And the can you not hear me? I'm looking at Dan. Are you saying you can't hear me?
No, I can.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying running out of battery. I thought I was breaking up. Anyway, they were saying that all things must be released in due time, that he does not command it. And he says every 1,000 years or so, everything needs to be or be remade. And Gravik says, wait, are you saying that you let this thing out every 1,000 years to lay waste to the land? And there are stories of apocalypses happening in our land every 1,000 years. And Gravik remembers when he was fiddling around with his book, he saw a picture of the creature that says death and destruction follows. So Demetrius points out that the prophecy did not send us there, that we are supposed to defeat Lutheria. And Corbin, Demetrius says, so you think unleashing this creature is the right move? And Corbin says, I think it is. Even if millions might die, I think it's the right move. But we decide not to free him. Hold on a second. Corbin asks why Spike was imprisoned. Was it imprisoned by Lutheria? And the automaton says no, he's not sure. But then Corbin asks who the figure's boss is, and the figure says, you would not understand his name if I uttered it. And Arcadia says, is this the same boss as the boss on the island of the Oathbreakers? And his eyes narrow and he nods. And Gravik asks, what's the name? And the creature says in Abyssal that the name is Orcus. And Gravik understands this because the comprehend languages is still working. And he starts freaking out and saying, well, we need to leave right now, guys. We can't associate with him. We can't trust anything he says. Just close the door. And Arcadia says, we'll consider your offer, bows just to be polite, and closes the door. We go back up to the entrance where Demetrius wants to harvest more of the 2 original golems that we fought. But Gravik is freaking out and saying, while Corbin is still saying he thinks he should release Spike. Gravik says that Orcus is an evil god where he comes from, all about undead and death and destruction. And he has a feeling that every 1,000 years he kills everyone in this world and uses it as a ritual. But of course, Demetrius is doubtful. And as we decide to leave, Arcadia realizes that Nyx hasn't returned and goes to fetch her and finds that the door is still closed. And she rejoins Demetrius, but while she's gone and Demetrius doesn't notice this, Gravik and Corbin head back down to speak with the figure. And Gravik asks him what's going on, what is Orcus doing in this world? And the figure is very upset. He utters his name. But he does say that he is just a gatekeeper, and that basically that the ritual, they use the death of the creatures on this world to power a ritual that will gain power for Orcus. And Gravik says, so that's all this world is, basically a giant battery for Orcus. What about the other gods? Are they part of this, or do they even know, or are they just complacent? And the figure says, by gods, I assume you mean the dragons. So he knows about these. The five gods are really dragons and the titans. And he says, well, the dragons, they are, how you say, juvenile gods. And the titans, well, there's not much they can do. And Gravik says, so then they can't do anything about it then. They're just observers. I'm sure they may cut a deal or oath where they don't interfere and they can continue to rule the ashes. And the figure says, you are finally figuring it out. And then Corbin says, so you think we should let Spike go, right? And Gravik says, no, were you not listening? And he leaves, but Corbin stays behind and says to the figure, he personally would like to free Spike, but his friends don't want to. And can he have some way of communicating with him if he changes his mind? And the figure gives him a sending stone. And so Gravik casts Dimension Door on everyone to get us back to the Ultros. And we decide we need to speak to Kyra. And we reboard the Ultros, and Arcadia asks if we want to head towards the next point of interest. And Corbin kicks the ground and says, I don't know what the use is. You just walk away when we find it. So we want to head to an island almost directly to our west. But as we go to talk to Kyra and Amitrius gives the order to sail to the island, we see some of the crew leaning back, smoking a dart, playing cards, and not paying any attention. So Amitrius asks us all to trust him and or asks the bosun to to drop anchor and ask the entire crew to come up top deck. And he addresses the crew in a very eloquent speech, I might say, which caused Arcadia to do an insight check because she'd never heard him speak like this. But he addresses the crew and says that a while ago there was a minor incident with a crewman, the one that called him a coward, and he will not apologize for losing his temper because he did not deserve to be called a coward. But not just him, but all of us, no one in the crew is a coward. And he will do his best to fill the role as captain and function in a more professional manner, but he cannot make this ship work smoothly alone. He shares the command of the Ultros with his fellow party members, and he tells Corbin, as the leader of the Dragonlords and a peacebringer and a man of legend, that his leadership and diplomatic skills make him the perfect person to put in charge of the crew, morale and discipline, and to handle shore leave, and if he steps out of line, to bring it up to him in private. And Corbin holds up his hand and says, do you agree, crew? And here's a couple of disheartened yeahs. And then, for my first order, break out the ale. Yeah. And Amitrius is like, Corbin, and the crew grumbles. He moves on. Nicodemus, saying he's going to be, he's a wise druid and much loved by the crew, and he wants him as the ship's quartermaster. The food is not in order, or there's a cultural problem, or if the crew wants certain materials or needs to be repaired, he wants them to be able to come to him. And also, as the ship's medical officer, if anyone has any medical issues, do his best to heal them. And there's a few more yeahs. At this point, Arcadia is crossing her arms. She doesn't like where this is going. But Nicodemus just salutes Amitrius. Aye, aye, Captain. And from the back, we hear, make him the captain. And there are more yeahs. Demetrius says, Arcadia, in battle, you have proven yourself a capable strategist and to be able to think clearly. He wants her to use those skills for the Ultros and take care of its defense so that when we enter some kind of sea battle, the crew can fire arrows or operate the ballistas, and asks her if that's something she wants to do. And she just nods. She doesn't look like she wants to do it, but she nods. He says, Gravik, despite your personality, you are most likely the most educated individual aboard, gods excluded, and he wants him to handle the magical needs of the crew if they have any, and put him in charge of communication with the mainland, to offer each of the crew the opportunity to send a letter home, and if they cannot write, to write the letters for them. And Gravik agrees, but asks to have a few words with the crew. Amitrius continues, saying he will continue to serve as the captain of the Ultros, but he is not a tyrant, and if anybody has any issues with him, to bring them up with the officers. If they have issues with the officers, to bring them up to him. and wishes to be treated with dignity and respect, and to treat them, the crew, with dignity and respect. And he says if anyone wants to leave, he will allow them to keep half of their pay upon departure with no questions asked. And he says the Ultros is not a slave barge, and he only wants people on board who are willing to risk their lives for it, that everyone in the world is counting on them. And if any of them feel that he must be replaced as captain, he has absolutely no problem. And a chant for Nico starts in the back and grows louder. But Nico's like, no, no, no. But Gravik comes up and says, he asks if anybody's interested in sending letters, and they all just stare at him. But then he says, Captain, I also think that this crew has been put through more than what they probably bargained for when they originally decided to join it. Perhaps a raise would be in order. Of course, they all cheer, and Arcadia says, what? And Armitrius explains that he already paid them double what a normal sailor gets. And Gravik says, yes, but this is definitely very awkward. Look at where we are right now. Any normal crew would have been. And then Demetrius says, the issue is your money. And then someone from the back says, union. And then Demetrius says, if this is a money problem, when we next reach a horde, I suppose we can offer you a portion of it. And he hears gasps from the dragons. Would that satisfy the crew? And someone else says union. And he asks that person to step forward, and it is Farina. And she says she thinks the sailors should unionize, and that way they can elect a leader to communicate them their gripes to the officers. And Corbin says, I like the idea of a union, and he winks at Verena. And then she says, Corbin, the group wishes for daily ale rations and maybe some extra food and some pleasantries as she grows a little red. And Gravik sighs and casts a major image of dancing girls and a few dancing men as well on the deck, and the crew starts to cheer. And they start to chant for Verena, and she says, I guess they have elected me as their representative, so it looks like I'm here to stay for a while, and winks at Gravik. And for those of you just joining us, she has this history of, she really wants Gravik. And so now Demetrius says, now we have offered you whatever you need. Is there anything else? And Verena, someone whispers to Verena, who whispers to Corbin, and Corbin says, you need to put some pants on. And Demetrius walks over to Verena and tries to grab her by the vest. And he gets very angry. He says, is this all a fucking joke to you? Do you not have families on Mitras and Astoria? And he says, if my crew does not want me to be here, I will gladly leave this ship, and I will go and adventure to the Centaur lands. And if you guys don't stop fucking around, you can save the world on your own accord. And he lets go of Verena and goes downstairs, where he wishes he had chosen the path of the dead, because we had a choice of having a living crew or keeping the dead crew. And he prepares a prayer bowl and begins washing himself and prays to the stallion. And as all this ruckus is happening, Arcadia speaks up and says, this is ridiculous. And she says, get back to your stations. We need to move to the next place. We need to be in high defense. Enough of ridiculous requests. And Corbin is huddling with Verena, saying that was great idea, now that she can give in to him wearing pants and get something else she really wants. Then Arcadia looks at Gravik and says, when you offer more money that is not yours, you need to discuss it with the party. And Gravik said he was going to pay it out of his own pocket if no one else agreed to it. And she says, this crew was hired before you were here, and they knew what they were getting into. And he says, really? And he grabs one of the crew that's walking by and asks him, did you think you were going to end up in a place like this when you signed on? Crew member just says, I only speak to my union representative. Sorry. And Gravik lets him go. And Corbin says, very good, very good. There will be some changes around here. Gravik sighs and walks over to Kyra. Arcadia joins them. He stands beside Kyra and doesn't look like he's angry or upset, and asks her the question. So how long has Orcus been on this world? And that is where we end our session. And if we believe the robed figure, it is Wednesday, our 87th day together, with 10 days remaining of the Oath of Peace. But that's only if the figure was telling the truth, or if somehow the Nether Sea is in our same time frame. Oh, and by the way, I do have a gaming headset, but I got to travel light.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Oh no, I don't like headsets.
Am I graphic? Oh, all right. I suppose he would explain to her that it's a demon from his world.
Yeah, it's a god. It's a god that from
Mhm.
his world.
The god of death, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
I suppose I can maybe articulate this a little better for Graphic if you're okay with that, Corbin.
Oh, sure, good.
Graphic, he runs up to Kyra and he's panicking and sweating, and as usual, he's completely lost his cool. And he's like, "It's Arcus! This entire world is a battery for Arcus to absorb the souls of everyone that dies on Thylea with Spike, and you know." And that's what he says to Kyra. And Graphic almost pulls out his own hair and he says, "You don't understand. Arcus is a real god, unlike you. And he's much more powerful than even my own. And he's using your entire world to fuel his own power. Everything that you do and your entire existence is only a pawn in the schemes of Arcus. We've seen it with our own eyes, right, guys?" And he turns to the party.
Corbin would try to explain that the last few days of events here, where we went to the Three Titans, and they told us about the weapons we could release, and we found out that this was one of the weapons, and it looks like it's some kind of giant creature that could be released to potentially help us in our fight against the Titans.
But Arcadia would interrupt and say, "But they say that death and destruction follows indiscriminately. So we may be killing Lutheria, but killing everyone else in the process, including ourselves." So she doesn't think. I don't think that's a worthy risk.
The Graphic says, "That's right, exactly. I saw a hourglass above the cube, and with that hourglass, I was able to determine that this spike being will destroy the planet in 100 years, and that Orcus will harvest all the souls and power."
And Arcadia interrupts and says, "No matter what, we have the quest at hand to deal with first. It doesn't matter if the world is going to be destroyed in 100 years, if it's going to be destroyed in 10. So I suggest we go to our next point of interest to the west, investigate that, and our
Yeah, let's
first
go check the other weapon.
yeah, our first thing to do is try to defeat the Titan."
Nico chimes up. He's like, "Well, I kind of care if it's gonna destroy the world in 100 years. You all will be dead, but us dwarves live a long time. I might even be around for that."
When Arcadia looks at him and says, "Yes, but let's take care of the one that might kill us in 28 or 10 before the 100, and then we can deal with the 100. How about that?"
Well, of course, yes, but just saying.
I think I know what this is.
Yes, yes. Well, spit it out. What is it?
Don't be a fool. Rep your tool.
Oh, just lean over the deck and shake it off. So Nico reaches out and touches him on the shoulder with his finger and casts lesser restoration on him. No, don't do that again. I can't give all these out for free, you know.
Oh my god.
Get back to work. Oh gosh.
The second weapon.
We're heading actually to the island just to the west. If you push the map, I could tell you. Just to the west of us, not the one with the whales, but the one below that, because that one's closer. Correct.
Is that the other
Correct.
cube?
We decided that one because it was closer. We had this discussion last week.
Okay. Yeah, I think we were going to go to that one because it was closer, and then we were going to go to the cube after.
Even though technically we're not even supposed to know that's a cube, or Giorgio accidentally gave us a spoiler because all we knew about that other place was that there were those whales, and we decided not to go to the whales because they were so big. When they broke the surface, our ship moved. That was the first thing that Arcadia saw breaking the water when we first arrived.
Well, coincidentally, for no reason at all, I still want to take the ship there and check that out. Not at all metagaming or looking at this thing here. I'm just casually, for no reason at all, I want to go to that specific place.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, we need to investigate everything.
Yeah.
Oh, we couldn't just, meander around the sea because there is supposed to be two weapons there. So
No one said anything. I don't know where we're getting the two weapons. No one ever said two weapons.
I thought the
He
Titan
just
told
said
us that.
weapons. No, he
There's
said
two
there are
cubes.
weapons.
There's
Yeah, we
two
didn't know at
cubes.
that point that there's. Yeah, we just know that there's weapons.
Yes.
In fact, if I look at the map, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes, I think. 5 cubes, 6 cubes.
Well, those are doors.
No,
Those are
if
just
you look at
markers.
the map,
Oh,
if you look
really?
at the map, you can see where we are now, the party token. Do you see that cube?
Oh, wait, I gotta blow this up then. Ah,
And now
uh-oh.
look across the map, there's cubes everywhere.
Oh, got the
But not we, the players, know that, of course. I'm just,
resistance is futile.
it's just interesting.
We can't figure out because of winds or currents or.
I will head
Arcadia would look
downstairs.
down and look, and can she see damage happening to the ship? Is that why? Because she had asked Vengeance, or she'd send Nyx to look at it?
And I will say to Arcadia, I think I know what this is. And I will go with her to the crew deck where the crew is sailing.
Mm.
Do you try to open the door?
What do you mean? Okay, so I move there, and does he move out of the way? I will look surprised, and I will tell him, what are you doing?
No.
In or out?
Right.
You're trapped in there?
That's not correct. Corbin would come down and say, no. You just have to have him open the door.
What?
There's an authorized door opener.
Okay, so open the door, guy.
Why not, Adam?
And I will walk in and look at what the crew is doing. I will say, Corbin, I need to speak to you in my quarters. I will go to my quarters.
I will talk to the crew before I go and see. We must be prepared to fully man the ship. Are they going to do it?
Arcadia says, who created brakes?
It's good for the morale of the crew, but we must have emergency abilities. So I will go speak to Demetrius.
And she says, I will not have the defense of this ship drop because of this. And she walks with you.
And I will say, Corbin, what's going on with the crew?
They are still quite unruly, but they're not revolting. They just they want more breaks and more pay and.
That's not going to happen. Can you
More
handle the
pay.
crew
We're
or
already
not?
paying them twice. Yeah, we're already paying them twice as much. We can find other people.
I will speak to them.
Right. I want the ship to run as it used to. I want maximum efficiency, or I will replace the crew and tell Farina to stop fucking around.
And I will go find Tarina and speak to her.
All right. And I will, as you leave, I will turn to Arcadia, and I will walk over and I will pull a bottle of drink from my desk, and I'll say, "Want a drink?"
And she says, no.
I get the feeling that this is going to be a bit of a problem, Arcadia, and I've had some idea on what to do about it.
I'm listening.
And I look at the door, making sure it's closed, and I'll say to Arcadia, I've been thinking about Verena since she came aboard. We made a deal that I would drop her off somewhere in the Nether Sea, and I'll be making her the offer for her to leave the ship. And so far, she has declined my orders and stolen my kill for Brygos against my wishes, driving a wedge between my brother and I. And now she has turned our crew against us. I'm thinking about cutting her head off. What do you think about that idea?
And she thinks for a moment and says, well, you did make a deal with her to drop her off somewhere here.
So you think I should just drop her off, but I don't think she intends to leave
Yeah.
the ship anymore.
That's part of the deal. I think we should hold her to it.
Yeah, but she will try to use the crew against us as a weapon. And I will go and stand in front of the
and
door.
Demetrius gets.
I will
Arcadia looks
stand
at
in front of the
him.
door and block the door, and I will look through the room with my blind sight.
Ah, good idea. Arcadia's.
What kind of creature is it? I will lean over and try to pick it up. I'll say, I get the feeling that our good friend Vorina is listening in on us, and I will show the creature to Arcadia. Have you ever seen one of these?
Can I see it?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. She cannot. Oh, it's invisible, so to her it's like Amitris is holding nothing.
She says, "Is that it?"
I will see, do we have? I will pour some of the drink that I got over it. I will hand it to Arcadia.
Hand it to me?
Yeah, because now you can. It's like wet, so you can sort of see it and say, "Do you know what this is?" And maybe you can like feel what it is or something. I don't know.
Oh, you're actually giving it to me to hold?
Yeah, or are you like afraid of a
Okay.
little squirmy creature?
No, but she doesn't. She's like this weird thing. You're handing it to her. She's like,
Well, what do I do
what
with
is
it?
it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
that's kind of
know.
like, what is it?
I don't know. It's probably something Verena uses to spy on us.
She looks at it and says, "What are you?" at the creature. Do you understand me? I'm going to smash your head against this door unless you answer.
Can you at least smash it? I don't want blood on my door. Just stab it.
She pulls out a dagger and holds it against her throat, and where she thinks its throat is, and says, "Do you understand me?"
I think you should just try stabbing it.
Have I found Marina yet? So I will go speak to her. Does she seem distracted? All right. Well, let's say we need to speak. Despite our gains, the crew is not performing efficiently, and it could be a problem. Yes, but much slower than before. Maybe, but maybe if we bring on more crew, we should bring them in at a lower level than the current crew. Otherwise, the current crew would be jealous. But for the short term, we have no way of getting crew here in this place, so we'll have to work double time here, if necessary. Maybe the Union will need to sacrifice for a bit here. I don't think Captain Demetrius will go with double pay yet. We need to develop our union, show him we can do a good job first. Overtime might work, especially if we really needed it. Of course. Every once in a while. And I'll say, but I would be careful with him. He is not a stable captain. Is there anything else you want? And I'll kind of glance over to wherever Gravik is.
Hey, quick interruption. Mad Kilt says he can't hear anybody except for Corbin. So that means he can't hear you, Ingordu?
Huh?
Mad Kilt says
Mad
he can only
Kilts?
hear one voice. Can you?
Oh my
I'm wondering
god.
if that's okay. Now he can hear me. What did
Well-
you have everybody muted?
No, I had my so I think it was just you could just hear Corbin because Corbin was the only one talking for like 5 minutes because I had myself muted.
Nice.
Oh,
I had myself muted for I don't know how long. Awesome. Well, awesome.
I heard you.
Well, no, through the stream. I had myself in the stream
Oh, yeah.
muted.
Gonna make the recap difficult.
Awesome.
Oh, it looks like it's okay. Cool. Thank you, Mad Kilt.
Awesome. So
All right.
where
So,
were we?
So
oh,
I
she
will
was
return
okay.
to Demetrius and tell him if we want the crew to work at full pace, they want time and a half. But I will emphasize with Verena's but that is only above and beyond their normal hours. They should be able to work the ship at normal speed during regular hours.
Yeah, 8-hour days, 4 days a week, of course. 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, of course.
That would be 5 days. Right? Perhaps 6, depending on
6?
calendar we use here.
6 days a week? Oh my goodness, that's... they
God,
need
that's a
time.
theater schedule.
They need time to relax, and I don't know if they can do 6, 5. We could probably work out, but 6 days a week, I don't know.
Very well 5. I will let Captain Demetrius know.
5.
But
It
you
is.
Captain Demetrius is starting to think that he shouldn't
But you
have
need to
put
show you
Corbin
can
the-
control the crew, otherwise he will not believe you.
Well, as long as you keep Captain away from the crew and from threatening to drop them into acid water, absolutely.
I'll do my best. So I will go back to talk to Demetrius.
Okay.
Well, we were actually in a scene whilst you were doing that, so
Yeah.
I actually want to figure out a bit about what Arcadia's chatting to this thing about.
So yeah,
before Corbin manages to return.
after the creature says that to Arcadia, what does Arcadia say?
Let me see.
Yeah, I'll give you Gravik if and when we get into combat.
Oh yeah, Gravik can't come. So Amicia suddenly sees Arcadia speaking in this like very evil sounding language, and the creature is speaking back to her. And I'm just gonna make this easy. Oh.
Uh-oh. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm just gonna start. So this conversation is happening in Abyssal, but I'm just gonna make this faster for both for the stream and for everybody. So she's gonna when she's asking it when it boarded, she's gonna ask, was it from the island with the sphinxes? Because it's being evasive with it when it boarded, and she's trying to pin down a location.
It will nod.
The island of the sphinxes. It nods, and she says, and how are you supposed to report, or are you supposed to leave and fly back?
It does not respond.
So she fills Demetrius in on things. She says he doesn't know who he's working for, but he came aboard when we were on the island of the Sphinxes, and the orders were to listen and learn. And he will not tell me how he's supposed to deliver the information. He does say that time here seems to flow differently, which is why I thought that's when he came aboard, was at the island of the Sphinxes.
Indeed. Well, I guess we should kill it. Or maybe lock it in a crate or something.
It does seem like it can't, it can't escape physical things since I'm holding on to it. If it could teleport, it would have done it.
I mean, I don't want some demon spy on the ship, to be fair.
No, and she says to it, when are you supposed to make your first report?
And he looks at Demetrius and looks at you, and it says, I already have.
And says, when? And what did you tell them?
Not to, just a few moments, well, a few minutes ago when the crew was being scolded by the centaur.
And how do you make these reports?
It does not respond.
Well, do you want to do the honors or should I?
And Demetrius, she asked that, Demetrius, can you just cast the Divine Sense? I'm assuming it's going to be a fleet.
Yeah, I will cast Divine Sense.
Yeah.
My last one.
Absolutely.
It's a fiend. It's a demon. Do I sense any other fiends within 60 feet?
Within 60 feet? No, you do not.
And she says, in common, she'll say to Demetrius, because she's assuming this thing, even though it pretends not to believe her, says, is this more useful to us alive or dead?
Dead.
Do you think there's some...
That's a good one.
Do you see any reaction in the creature when he says dead?
You do not.
I mean, you're in charge of security, so it's your call in the end. But I think you should kill it.
And she says, to it, when are you supposed to leave?
When my mission is complete.
And when will that be?
When he says it.
He, you say?
I wonder if it's that demon guy that we spoke to.
And Demetrius is what guy?
The
Arcadia.
guy from the cube, he sensed the same as this creature. And he also, like, they were also like strangely shaped, like this thing.
But this thing says it joined us. Well, if it's not lying, it joined us when we were on the island. The time. The
Yeah,
Sphinx.
but it's a demon, so I wouldn't trust anything it says.
It's true.
Hey, Rafi.
And in a very swift move, her dagger wipes across its throat.
Okay. And black blood oozes through from his throat as it dies. And it gives you, as it's dying, it gives you this weird like look of why before it dies.
Well, all right. We need to be vigilant for more things like this.
Yeah, and I guess this is about the point where Corbin would arrive.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I would tell him that we found an invisible demon spying on us, and I will tell him what Arcadia relayed to me about what it said.
An invisible demon
Rhymes with
spying on
Porcus.
us
Indeed.
since we were on with the Sphinx. That's been a long time.
Indeed. Well,
If it was
Actually,
telling
I
the
think
truth,
it's only
and you
been
see
like-
that
one day. I think it's only been like 1 day since the Sphinx thing. For us,
If
at
I
least.
turn back time
Corbin will kind of look over at
to the
Arcadia's.
good dope
Is that correct?
days.
You spoke to it? Wait a minute. How do you know how to speak to demons?
I know, right?
Sus.
I will look at Arcadia, also wanting an explanation for that.
And
I know what I know.
and you feel about this time you feel the ship slowing down, like almost to a complete stop.
I will relay to Demetrius that we've arrived at the island, and that there may be a solution for the crew. I think I've got them working full time, at least 5 days a week. But they may want a little overtime if you want them to work on the weekends, or we may need to hire more crew.
What is your opinion about this, Corbin?
Well, for the moment, there's, you don't want to cause a riot in the crew, especially in this place. So
Agreed.
I suggest being nice, at least somewhat nice to them, and maybe figuring out what Verina's plan is. She seems to really want Gravik.
And I will close and lock the door behind us. And I will say, actually, about Verina, she has betrayed us twice now. What do you think we should do with her?
She is a union
Keep a
leader.
very close eye on her, I think.
She's the union
Well, I
leader.
made an
If you
agreement
killed
with
that
her.
thing, maybe it could have spied on her for us.
Don't do a hoppa.
Well, yeah, maybe, but it was a demon with a master, so I don't think that it was going to work for us. But
don't pull a hoppa.
I'm thinking about telling Verina that our agreement is at an end, that I held up my part and I brought her to the Nether Sea, and that I will let her leave the ship wherever she here pleases. And
Why
if
did
she
why
doesn't
did she
want to
want to
leave,
come here in the first place? Do you know?
I agree,
yeah, she
Mad
wanted
Coats.
vengeance on Brygos,
And
who
he's here?
enslaved her. No, she's the guy that was with my brother that she killed.
So she already got what she wanted.
I have a
Exactly.
sense you were.
And,
I have a sense you're correct
Part
there, Mad
of the
Coats.
deal for her leading me to Brygos was that I would bring her, I think, somewhere in the Nether Sea to an island here. So I will do that and ask her to leave the ship. However, I foresee some difficulties with that.
You're a smart
I
man.
think she wants to stay.
You're a smart man. Me,
Just
trapped?
have to see.
Never.
All
She
right,
must have
but,
wanted to come here, or she wouldn't have asked you to bring her here. So there must be some reason she wants to be here.
Well, if you must know, if things go south and she starts giving me shit or threatening to turn the crew against me, I fully intend to kill her.
There could be a problem with the crew. We'll have to we'll have to come up with a good reason.
Well, you know, I think she's got some agenda or some plan. She's fucking around. We never had an issue with the crew. We've always treated them well, but suddenly she starts becoming their leader, demanding all sorts of outrageous things, turning them against us, making them slow down. We have to do something about her. She has some agenda to sabotage us.
Well, I suggest we take it cautiously, as the crew does seem to be under her spell right now.
All right, I will speak to her about the ordeal. I will offer to let her leave the ship.
Well, maybe just ask her where she wants to go here. And
All right.
why.
All right. I will do that, and
You don't
I'll
have to
offer
tell
to.
her she has to leave just yet, but she obviously wanted to come here, so maybe start with that.
Maybe you should speak to her, Corbin. I think I'll have some
Maybe we should have
problems.
Gravik speak to her. She seems to like him a lot.
No, Gravik, he's not very competent when it comes to dealing with people.
Yeah, I
That is
figured.
true.
Fine, I'll speak to her and I'll try to control my temper.
A stock playbook. Me?
All right. I will.
Meanwhile,
can
we're
you
at
guys...
the island.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we
Okay,
should
let's
check
do
it
that
out.
first. Yeah, let's do that first, and I will go to the top of the ship.
You know, I had zero plans to do that until last week when he had that
So,
speech.
what do we see?
So dim lights dance upon the horizon. As your ship gets closer, you discover their source. An immense, partially submerged crystalline structure reflects the strange light of this strange place. Countless flat panels connect at strange angles, creating a vaguely pyramid shape. Near the waterline is a gaping hole large enough to allow passage by the Ultros. Jagged edges suggest that this entryway was made by force, rather than being an original feature of this odd structure. Because I have not.
Suspicious. I think this is definitely in a very important area.
I wonder if this could be the sunken city.
Yeah, that's a really good call. Let's see, what did we have to do there again? Let me check my notes.
Well, that's where one of the
Yeah, the Chelsea
one of the
thing.
seals. But no matter what it is, we should investigate.
Should we go in there, guys? I'll look at the rest of the party.
I think so. We need to explore
right.
this place.
I'll tell the crew to sail us into the entryway.
And they will. So as you come in here, you see that the walls and ceiling of the interior are covered in hundreds of square mirrors, each 6 feet to a side. These mirrors reflect whomever enters this place. And if you look into, like, each time, whomever looks into a mirror, you see a warped version of yourself. And then you see, kind of like at the rear of the structure's interior, you see a small island made from broken mirrors. And gold, silver, and gemstones are piled on the island in a large hoard.
I will hold on to vengeance very carefully.
What does Aziz do?
Is
Is Gravik gonna hold on to Aziz?
So is Gravik going to hold on to Aziz? As Aziz is
I
also
assume so.
struggling,
I assume he would.
also squirming.
So when we near that island, I will tell the crew to drop anchor before we fully reach it.
Okay.
And I will say, I don't trust that. I will look at the rest of the party.
It does seem too good to be true.
I think we need to send something over there that isn't one of us.
Does Gravik
And,
have a
I'll-
mage hand?
I don't,
Actually, he has Find Familiar, doesn't he?
I don't think so.
Oh god.
He's not that type of wizard.
I will look at Arcadia.
No, Arcadia would send Nyx to scout.
Okay, other than what I had mentioned, that's all I had seen.
Does it see any creatures on the island? Just a giant pile of money.
Just a giant pile of money.
Can you tell Nyx to land?
No, but Arcadia has an idea.
Okay.
She hadn't quite figured out what to do with this dead thing, demon's body. So she's gonna hand it to Nyx and have her drop it on the horde.
Okay. Poor dead creature. Nothing happens.
I will command the crew to fire ballistas at the treasure.
They hesitate.
I'll say, what's the problem?
Sir. They look at Corbin, and they look at Corbin first.
I'll tell them
What
you're
day
talking
of the
to
week-
me.
what day of the week
I'm
is it?
giving you an order.
Oh, it's still the week. It's still the week, but they're looking at Corbin like they want to talk to him because he's the union rep.
I'll go over and speak with him.
Well,
This is
sir.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sir. Well, all right. So hang on. You want them to fire on the treasure that you said that the next horde.
That's
you-
right. And if they don't follow orders, I will tell them that they are dismissed, and I'll tell someone else to do it.
Corbin will say, "Listen to Captain Demetrius. He is not adverse to getting treasure, but it can be dangerous. You don't want to curse treasure. Trust me."
So they start shooting the treasure, and it starts exploding and going into the water here, going into the water there, and nothing else happens.
And I will look at the rest of the party, and I'll say, any other ideas? Could be a curse.
Is there anything else around here, or is it just an island with mirrors and treasure on it?
Just an island with mirrors and treasure. Well, some treasure now.
Can Gravik cast detect magic on the actual treasure? Would that
that's a good
detect
idea.
a curse?
Is he close enough?
You get in a dinghy and get closer.
You can get in one of those boats.
Yeah, it's 30 feet only.
Remember the boat? You put it in the water; it was sizzling.
Yep. Could we get a feel for how long a boat would last in the water?
Probably less than 10 minutes.
Could get there
Well-
and back.
So that means we couldn't even get on the island either then.
No. Corbin can fly still.
Well, we could by just sailing the Ultros next to it and boarding, but do we want
But
to
there's
do
no
that?
is there a
Because-
dock on it?
There is not.
But
Yeah, we
we
don't
don't
wanna
need a
get
dock.
stuck.
We could just extend the ropes and pull the Ultros towards it.
But it's an island. We're gonna run aground. The thing is, the Ultros is giant. We can't get close enough where we can just jump off of it onto land.
So we can... Oh, no. Oh, no, Demetrius says. I swore I wouldn't use it again. And then he goes downstairs, and he retrieves the chariot.
Okay.
I say I can get us over there, even though it might be a somewhat bumpy ride. But should we?
Well, it's either that or we have to go away. I don't see any other choice.
Well, I say let's do it. Let's go there. And I will tell the crew, raise the anchor and bring the Ultras as close as is possible without stranding.
And they do.
And how far are we about now?
Roughly 40 to 50 feet.
All right. So
Oh
I
well,
will
if it's
strap
40
on.
to 50 feet, we could easily take a boat over there.
Well,
Easily
yeah, but
take a boat
then
over there and pull
But
it
then
out
we
of the
lose our
water.
boat.
yeah.
Well, no, he said 10 minutes, right? Or would it just be, or
Well, it
even if
would
we
be
took it
melting
out, it
the
would just
entire
be dripping?
time.
We could pull it out of
Like-
the water, I guess.
Yeah, but then, like, imagine putting a boat in
Right.
acid. That's what would happen.
Right, because it's just gonna sit there.
It's just gonna melt. It's just sacrificing one of our boats, actually. I mean, yes, we could make it and maybe even back, but even if we lift it out of the water, the acid is still on the wood, like eating away at the wood.
Wash it
Yeah,
off.
you're right.
Or I could just chariot you guys over there, no problem.
I have my own transportation.
I'll take the chariot.
All right, Arcadia, I want to get on.
Well, how many people can fit on that thing?
Let's see. Let me whip it out. The Chariot of Dawn.
Let me whip it out. Give you
The chariot can only be activated. I think only
actually,
one
don't like
person.
that. Actually, don't like that picture.
Oh, yo, you can't use it anyway because it's not. I'll put it back in the hold because we're underground. We're in night. Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
why I
that's
put it away in
right.
the first place.
You need
That's why I
daylight.
put it away in the first place. It's still useless after all. Okay, never mind that idea. Corbin, I think you and Nico are the only ones that can get over there.
I can carry somebody.
I could get there, but I can't get back if I drop my wild shape. I only got one left. We haven't taken a rest. Or have we?
You have
No, we
not.
haven't.
No.
Yeah, we haven't.
Well, you get yours back at a short rest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So no matter what, you're not trapped for more than an hour. So you could like fly over there and grab a few clawfuls of gold and bring it back.
Yeah, but if something happens, how are we gonna get help? Gravik's down in his room, and now it's just me and Nico.
Well, you know, I'm open for ideas.
I guess we could take the boat and just. How many boats do we have? Do we have? I mean, I assume we have more than one small boat, right?
Yeah, you have 1, 2. Looks like judging off the ultra. Yeah, you have 2.
So we could take the one boat and hope to get back before it dissolves.
So you got one there, and one over there.
An awful big boat to have only two. It's like a Titanic. It doesn't have enough light.
Yeah, pretty much. That's my thought exactly.
Well, we have a few
I don't know if
flying
it's
crew
worth- I
members
don't
as
know if
well,
it's
right?
worth- Send Verena over there.
Maybe we should send Verena and her tieflings.
Yeah, make her earn her keep.
Yeah, make them carry all the treasure aboard. I'll look at Corbin.
I don't think that's a good idea. You
I
don't
was-
trust her already.
I was just say that's probably not going to happen. That'd be the smartest idea.
So, yeah, I guess she's pretty useless, huh, Corbin?
So, I can carry me and
Makes this one better.
me and Vengeance can carry at least one person. And you said, Nico, you have a way of getting over there?
I do, but I have to spend some
Well-
time over there to regain my wild shapes back.
It's not going to hurt us if we rest an hour and let Nico regain his wild shape.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're going to rest an hour.
We can take a short rest and then go for it.
And could Nico carry Arcadia, or?
I think Nico can because he turns into a large bird.
Cratchit,
I
crime
I
queen?
wild sheep.
Oh, crochet.
Giant eagle.
And I think Corbin could carry Gravik, and
Well,
Demetrius will have to stay on
Gravik
board.
says he's not coming. Gravik's standing.
I
with
can play Gravik
Kevin.
instead of Demetrius.
I'll play
Since
Gravik.
I don't think we have a
There.
way to get Demetrius over there, right?
I'll play Gravik.
Gravik can teleport us if he's coming, but I thought he was standing in his room, not
Looking for notes pertaining to Orcus.
looking for notes. So I don't think there is a Gravik today.
All right. Well,
Unless he gives permission for someone to play him, or did he not want someone to play him?
He does.
Or was he just giving us an easy out?
He said maybe it's better if he doesn't play right now. Other players can be liberal with spell slots when they're not theirs.
Gravik fears Tim.
all right. Good luck, you guys.
So
All
what do you
right,
wanna
so
do?
let's take a short rest, and then the four of us will go over there.
Roll him if you got him. He's in the Canadian military, and they're on an exercise today. And he thought he was going to be able to get off, but I guess get done earlier, but he was unable to.
Corbin was barely hurt.
And Vengeance looks at Corbin.
And I'll have a strong talk with Vengeance. I'll say, we must be very cautious with this treasure. It may not be real. Don't touch anything unless I say it's okay.
And
You are a smart dragon. You know hordes can be trapped.
and she says, but I'm also kind of hurt. As I rolled some hit dice for her, but she doesn't have that many.
What's that?
I rolled hit dice for Vengeance, but she's
Yeah.
also remember she was beaten up pretty bad.
Oh, so she's still damaged?
Yeah, oh yeah. She
Yeah,
is-
it's when you told her to do the tactical retreat from helping Demetrius, and then that thing, the golem, in an opportunity
Yeah.
attack, really whacked her.
Here,
I will ask Nico if he can heal her. Do you have any healing, Nico?
I'll actually make her friendly for finally. I've never ever done that.
What's that?
Make her a friendly creature so you can actually
Oh.
see her HP and shit.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Target Vengeance.
Oh, wow, she's really damaged.
Yeah, and that was with getting some hit dice back to or getting some health from short rest. Ralph, no. No.
Could have been better.
No. And she kind of licks you. Thank you.
I'm gonna give her a potion of healing on top of that.
And she will eat it. No, she'll drink it.
See, I have to drop that on her, right?
Yes.
Then I'll tell her, stay in my backpack and try to stay out of the fight. I don't want you to get hurt.
And she
If
will.
there is one.
And she will plop into it.
And no touching the treasure.
But, Dad.
All right. Are we ready?
Oh.
All right. And as we float over, all right. So everyone's going except for Gravik, right?
Yep.
All right. Cool. With that, let's take a break. Come back at 5 after. I gotta pee.
Nope.
Actually, we'll be back in about 10-ish minutes or so. If you go away, please come back, and we'll see what happens on this not cursed island whatsoever. We don't do cursed islands around here, right?
I could never run away. We tried to leave it all behind. I can hear the thunder break. Set me ablaze. There's no escape. Blood in my veins. Blood in my veins. We'll never be the same. Never be the same. Never be the same. Never be the same. If you're not coming through, you can stay away. You play the fool. I think I play along. You don't know how far I go. Just think about it, baby. Don't say no. Take me there, bring it back. 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 Take me, don't say no. Don't say no. Don't say no. Just think about it. If you're not coming through, you can stay away. You play the fool. I think I play along. You don't know how far I go. Just think about it, baby. Don't say no. Take me there, bring it back. Take me there, bring it.
I don't have time for that shit. Like, I want to be treated as a human too, but I have to go out every time and these monsters are killing me. I don't take fucking sick days, okay? And neither are you. That's what I'll tell the crew.
Oh, you have to tell it to Corbett so Corbett can relate because they only speak to his union rep. Oh my
Yeah, that's
god. Oh my
crazy.
God.
Where now that's not the role of a union representative where he has to
Yeah,
like
that's
talk
not
all the
gonna
time.
happen. I tell you, before we leave the Nether Sea, people are going to die on this ship.
Alright, so we are back. And we're heading over to the island, yes?
Yes.
Alright.
And I will subtly, before we leave, I will subtly plant the hint that Amitrius needs some kind of item that lets him fly.
Oh, holy cow! Look at that.
Okay.
Sorry for interrupting. I'm just looking at the map.
No,
I'm like, holy shit.
He will say loudly, I really hope that in the future, when we keep doing this stuff, I get some kind of item that lets me climb or cross vast distances easily. And he says that to the sky. And then he's like, okay, let's go, guys.
Oh, that's nice.
So how did we got Demetrius over then, eh?
Yeah, I thought you were going to like carry him over.
Cool, as long as
Yeah,
you
like-
can do that.
Corbin grabbed him by like the shoulders, and the Vengeance grabbed him like by his horse ass, and they like lifted him up, and they were like flapping. Corbin was flapping his wings, and Vengeance, and they were like sweating and groaning in pain, and Demetrius was like blushing, and just like, oh, kill me. And that's how they got him over here, apparently. This place looks really cool, though.
Yeah. Look, it's populating with mushrooms or something. Oh.
I think those are gold piles.
Oh.
Yeah, see, they were all a nice pile until they were commanded to shoot at the pile, and now it's
Oh,
all
I'm sorry.
everywhere.
Didn't you turn the last pile we found in some tower into a fucking horde mimic?
Me?
I think I'm
Yes.
pretty justified here, okay?
Me? I don't know what you're talking about.
We literally have been eaten alive by a pile of gold.
Didn't want that to happen again.
I don't know what you're talking about. So you get to the island.
I will throw a javelin at the nearest pile of gold.
Okay.
Wait, how did we get there? How did everybody get to the island?
You used a wild shape.
Okay.
Corbin and Nico carried him. And
Just wanted to mark off my wild shape, so I...
And I guess you carried Arcadia being a giant.
Yeah.
You were a giant eagle.
I will approach one pile of gold, the one that I hit with my javelin. And I
Okay.
will lean over and carefully pick up my javelin.
So, okay, you pick up your javelin.
I look over my shoulder and I'll say, I'm not going to be the first one to pick up a coin. I'll tell you that much.
Nico's not doing it. He learned his lesson.
Vengeance is squirming.
Well, let the dragon pick up the first
Do,
junk
do,
coin.
do I see anything on the island other than piles of gold?
Give me an investigation.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Let's see. My investigation is shit though.
Corbin does not. Demetrius, yes, give me. Arcadia, give me a moment. I need to find something.
Yes,
I
it's
guess-
just an island with nothing but gold.
Yes, I should have.
See if
Okay.
Nico can find anything.
But someone has to have placed this gold here, right? Gold just doesn't appear.
Huh, it didn't work.
So who put this gold here and why? Because we need to think about the oaths. If we take this gold, we might be dragged off to Prison Island.
I didn't make an oath not to
We
take
didn't
gold.
make an oath to anything.
No. You are already oath-bound by just existing. If you steal, like from a temple or some shit, you get like dragged off. Or when you like invite someone to your table and despite not having made an oath, if you would betray them, you get dragged off. So we need to be careful of that. Like we might take this gold and suddenly we can't eat anymore because we stole from someone's grave, if you understand what I mean.
I don't see any grave.
Well then, go ahead and pick up some gold.
I'm waiting to see if we saw something.
Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. I gotta find something, but I can't remember what it was, and I need it.
So nice weather we're having, huh?
No, don't ask the guy from Buffalo, or don't say that to the guy from Buffalo.
That in the Nether Sea.
Yeah. You know, the whole being in hell really sells the experience of heroism. So, are any of your parents still alive? Well, we know about yours, Arcadia. What about yours, Nico?
Somewhere. Yes. Me
Yeah?
ma and me dad is still alive.
Damn, we should visit them. I bet your mom is a great cook.
The best in the world.
Do you know where they live?
Well, yes. They live in the same city I'm from.
Wait, your parents live in Mitros?
Yes, we just didn't visit them while we were there. We were busy.
Hold on, Nico. You won the great games. You've been traveling with us and being a hero, and you found Titan's Bane. And you haven't gone back to your parents to, talk to them about it.
They've got their own worries. I don't want
Next
to worry
time
them.
we're in Mitros, you're introducing us to your parents, man.
They probably
We-
forgot about me too.
We want a home cooked
It's
dwarven meal. Nah.
Okay. I could do that.
Nice. Can you imagine we were at the Great Games and like two super cute dwarven parents were like in the stands. They were like, "That's my boy. That's my
Thinking that.
Nico."
They had a little pennant that said Nico on it.
Yeah, and then like his mom goes to like the knitting club and she's there with like all the other dwarf ladies and she's like, "Oh, did you hear? My son recently found Titan's Bane. It's not a big deal, but he's kind of he's kind of the hero saving the world."
He never writes. He never calls.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's true.
I once had a home cooked meal sent to that ship that he works at, the Ulfros or something, and a big horse took it.
Nico's meal. Best meal you ever had, wasn't it?
You know it. Something super dwarven like beer blasted boar ribs.
Okay. Sorry. I can't find this, so Corbin, maybe you can remember. This was a long, like 2 years ago. Like I just sat here and scored up to our chat, and I can't find it. Remember when I asked you guys give you different choices for like armor and gear and shit? Like you chose boots of speed and something else. Do you remember what that something else was? Between the boots of speed, cloak of the bat, and dragon scale mail.
Probably would have been the dragon scale mail.
Okay, I figured that, but I wasn't 100% certain. Because, like, I just literally looked through all of our chat for, like, the past 2.5 years. I couldn't find it.
Ours is pinned.
Yeah, I didn't pin ours, which with him, and which I should have. But, so, That is Arcadia and Ametrius. And Nico, you would see a nice set of scale mail poking out from one of the treasure piles.
Ooh. I would lean over and pick it up and hold it in front of my chest.
And when you do that, you hear some rumbling from the water, and you hear multiple voices: consume, death, kill, consume.
I would.
Feed.
Can I drop it?
Sure.
Corbin will reach over.
Does it
and
stop
grab
when he
from him.
drops it?
It does not.
I will
And-
loudly say, I was only looking and I never intended to take this from the pile.
And coming out of the water is a creature that looks like this.
I fucking knew it! Why do I always trigger the traps?
Shit.
I did pick up a coin this time!
No, does that look like a crack? No. Kraken?
Ah,
Is that
another
some kind of crazy
Hydra.
Kraken? Oh,
Looks like a
no.
Pimped up Hydra, actually.
Yeah.
Consume, mate, kill, feed.
This is making me think of that Final Fantasy game that yours playing. What is it, like, instant death? All the weird things that it's saying. There's one thing in particular that I thought was hysterical.
I hope
But,
we don't have to run around like that.
And I'll say, Corbin, I think what I just picked up was a gnome-sized.
And the creature, so it was those little heads on the side that were saying this, and the big head says, "Hello, welcome to my island."
Greetings. How may we help you?
It is not you that can help me, but me that can help you.
And I will look at his other heads and I say, well, that's all fine and dandy, but I get the feeling that you have some ulterior motives. You wouldn't be hiding any ill intentions from us, would you?
Me? Of course not.
Are you sure? And I'm just listening to those two other heads saying, death, kill.
They're still going too.
Okay, what are you offering us? What's the deal?
Well, why have you come to my island?
Well, we saw a giant pile of gold and we thought, we might take it.
And you just assumed it would just be sitting here free to get?
No, I thought it was a trap from the get-go.
But yet you still took it?
Well, I didn't take it. I was inspecting it. I specifically said I was only inspecting it and I returned it to its rightful place, like in some collection or museum. It doesn't count as theft.
Arcadia speaks up and says, we're on a quest to keep the world from being destroyed, including this place.
Ah. And I am assuming you want to do what with my gold?
You know what?
And she said,
Actually, I think you should just keep it yourself. Our bad.
Will you share your treasure with us? You said you could help us.
Dragons do not share?
You're not a
is-
dragon.
You're a dragon?
Once upon a time.
Actually,
But
maybe we should take this treasure.
You said you could help us.
I can.
How can you help us?
And what would you want in return?
Quid pro quo. I wish to find the Dragonlord who locked me in here and devour him.
And which Dragonlord was that?
His name was Estephanos.
Do I know that Dragonlord?
You do. And you know that his dragon, bound dragon, was Hezebel.
Ah. H isn't from Hydra, it's from Jezebel.
You see,
Zephyrus, the lute playing, he worships Astophanos. Unless this isn't a different one.
and
But all
I
the
will-
Dragonlords are long gone.
are they?
So, Astophanos, if I'm remembering correctly, we did not. You said Jezebel,
Yes.
and Astophanos looked like that was the statue that we found when we fought the Shambling Mound. Is this true?
Yes.
Okay, when we fought the Shambling Mound, and that's where Nico got all those vines. That was when we saw Zephyrus, and he had what we thought was Kyra's lute, and we fought him, and we found the statue that looked like it was like Steve from Call from the Deep with a mustache, and that's Astophanos.
Yes. Damn.
Okay,
I
well.
don't have the picture anymore. Damn.
It's interesting. Astophanos was considered the sun god. The sun god. That's interesting. So is Astophanos the same as Helios?
Wasn't he some other god, like the god of wisdom or no, he was something else, like an old god, wasn't he? I don't think he was the sun god.
Well, the reason why is Zephyrus sang us a song. And he sang us a song about a mortal who stole Astophanos' the sun god's chariot and flew too close to the sun. And as he sings that song, we all feel tired, and when we awaken, he is gone.
But we know where he is, and so if Astophanos is the sun god, I'll ask him: is Helios Astophanos?
You look.
No, that can't be, because Helios is a dragon.
Yes. Exactly.
Helios isn't a god at all. He's just an arrogant dragon.
All right. And who did you say his the dragon's name was?
Jezebel. It's you should be able to see it now. But
Well,
I was looking for a place to hide the treasure of our kind, and I broke into this prison and accidentally released this very big creature.
what? When did you do that?
What is the year?
I will look at Arcadia. What's the year?
Well, she tells him whatever the year is.
Must be 500 years ago now.
Huh.
So did you release a thing that looks like a giant lizard about 100 feet tall?
The one I released could swim, and it was about what's 100 feet. It was very big, and it likes to swim.
What else does it look like? Does it have 8 arms or something?
It has a lot of tentacles.
And then Arcadia would expose her right forearm, which has that stylized tattoo of a kraken on it. And she
Yes,
says, "Would it
yes,
look
like that. Yes, like that.
Well, 500 years ago, about when the Oath of Peace was made, this dragon released a kraken. That can't be a coincidence, because clearly she was at least involved with a Dragonlord. So at the very least she was also involved somehow in the Oath of Peace / war. I wonder if that has something to do with why the Titans were forced to capitulate.
Why do you wish to harm your Dragonlord?
Because he told me to stay down here and everything would be fine. And as you can tell, as it looks at its many different heads, everything was not okay. Kill,
Did the
consume.
mirrors
Kill, consume.
did the mirrors here cause you to grow more heads?
If you look at your inner self for too long, the demons are bound to come out.
Arcadia says we shouldn't look at any of these mirrors.
Well,
Well, how else can we help you? Because I believe your master is dead.
Well, do you know any other Dragonlords I could kill and eat?
No, no.
And Arcadia would say, I believe they're all dead because it's been 500 years.
So the Order no longer exists?
Nope. What about the Titans? You could kill them.
I don't go near Lutheria. She is very vain.
let me guess.
Why
We should
would
always
that
laugh at
make
her
a
jokes.
And we do that. No, stop trying to get me to go to her. No.
Has Lutheria been torturing you?
It does not respond.
Well, I have some idea what might have driven certain parts of this dragon to madness. Anyway, I think we should probably go. Unless you want to do, and I will lower my voice to a whisper. Unless you want to do, a Dragonlord thing. To Corbin.
I will step forward and say, I am so sorry this has befallen you. I am Corbin, the Dragonlord.
And he, Asbel looks at you, and you hear from its belly, like a deep belly laugh. The Corbin I know was a giantess of a man.
Yes, I was once, but that was 500 years ago. I am his spirit.
You are his spirits, so you take acceptance.
I would help you if I can.
I wish to. So you are a Dragonlord, so the Dragonlords do still exist.
Well, only myself.
Then perhaps I shall end these Dragonlords once and for all. Kill, death, kill, consume.
Perhaps you will allow me to help you instead.
Help how?
The Dragon's Lord.
You cannot.
The old Dragonlords betrayed their oath. I would like to keep the oath and be friends.
You cannot kill my madness or cure my madness. Kill,
Maybe we can.
death, kill, consume.
Maybe we can. We have a healer.
Sniffs up in the air.
Do you have a spell, Nico, that you could cast?
I have a lot of spells I can cast.
Like a restoration or a greater restoration?
I don't think that will do it.
He's cursed, he says. Are you
Can you
cursed?
try Greater Restoration?
Well,
He is suffering.
so Nico's gonna walk up and stay away from all the heads, but he'll go up and... I need to touch you, dragon. Come closer. Oh, don't spray me.
It was not me.
And then
Good.
he'll cast Greater Restoration on the dragon.
And when you do so, the dragon lets out a scream as two of the heads immediately go limp and fall away and says, "No! They're trying to kill us! Stop!"
Does not kill you, dragon. It's healing you.
Stop! And you get the sense. Actually, give me a medicine.
I'm gonna guidance that.
Okay.
And you'll notice that this is the first time he's ever used guidance.
Nice.
Oh, it didn't work. Maybe it's
You
not,
don't even need to worry about it. That's good
Yeah.
enough, actually. So you get the sense that you have cured a little bit, but perhaps not cured everything. So you might need to do it again, and maybe even a third time.
Well, dragon, I could do it again, but I gotta use part of your horde.
What? You're trying to kill us. And it's going to snap at you, but not get you. But it's going to snap.
Check now.
Dragon, would you allow me to cast Restoration upon you as well?
Kill, kill, kill.
I will also put a regular Restoration on the dragon. I'll mark off the spell slot.
And when you do that, it lets out another scream as a third head falls off and dies. It's trying to kill us all. Kill them.
How
Kill
many heads
them.
does it have left?
2.
And that was just lesser restoration, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So try lesser
Yes.
restoration.
I don't have greater yet.
Try another lesser.
Nico will. And Nico will cast lesser restoration on the dragon now.
Ah! As the last small head falls off and dies, and Hezbollah looks around, and you see it kind of like brighten up a little bit as like some of the darkness kind of falls off it, and says, "Thank you."
I'm so glad that you're well now. And I will ask him, so did you abandon your Dragonlord? Was he evil like some of the others?
He was killed.
Then how can you have survived? I did not think it was possible.
The Oracle at the time broke the bond.
Ah, yes. She is pretty wonderful, isn't she?
Percy is a very wonderful woman. Was. I'm assuming she's no longer here.
Oh no, she is still here. I see her often.
Give her
I will
my
say, can you
thanks.
assume human form? Oh, sorry.
Give her my thanks.
I'll say, can you assume human form?
Alas, I do not think so. And you notice now that the wings that this dragon has are no longer there. Like they had eventually like warped and like decayed so badly that when you healed it, it all fell off.
Oh no. Do you need us to help you get off this island?
And where will I go?
You can bring yourself and your horde about their ultras and will bring you back to Tylea.
I do not think I can fit up there. I don't think I can get up there.
You can. You can be on the Ultras at least, right?
I don't think I can climb up there.
What do you mean by that? It's too big?
Remember, like, how massive that Ultras is?
Yep.
And the dragon can't fly.
It has to climb.
Well,
We have someone that can help you.
yeah, Gravik. Gravik has a potion of diminution too. Maybe that might work.
Yep.
And also we have Kyra.
True.
Yeah.
We could find a way to get you on the ship if you wish to join us.
Kyra? That name? Why does that name sound so familiar?
We tell her dragon name.
She lives?
Yes.
She's aboard our ship.
Bitch.
Oh.
What did she do?
She knows.
I want to introduce her to Vengeance. This is my dragon. She is still very young, though.
Vengeance is squirming, not even paying attention to this, to Hezebel.
Is it safe for us to touch any of the treasure now that we've helped you? This armor that Demetrius has touched already?
Well, don't go into
Inspected.
the water. Do not go into the water, or else you might. And you notice that this dragon is in the water, but it does not seem to be sizzling.
Corbin would probably know that's because it's acid dragon.
Quick question. Did you say that your you said that your Dragonlord was a Stephanos, but not Gregor Horath?
Narrows its eyes. What do you know of Gregor?
I just saw a mural on his grave that said he was your oathsworn, and the mural was of a young man traversing the islands in water, and then he is not in the final panel. We just see a grieving woman looking across a stormy sea from a palace balcony.
Where is his grave?
In the necropolis.
We shall go there. Let's go.
How can you go there? You can't get out of here. You just said so.
I will. I need to piss on that grave.
I'll say I appreciate your enthusiasm, Hezebel, but you know how this world works.
Can you swim next to our ship? We could take you if you can swim next to our ship.
Hold on, Corbin.
What
hold on.
What did Gregor Horath do?
And he looks at Corbin. You really don't know, do you?
No, my memories were damaged. The Oracle saved me like she saved you, but not all of my memories survive.
Who do you think killed you?
Oh.
Oh,
He's the one that stabbed me in the back?
It was his idea.
It was his idea, but who actually did it?
Geigen, right?
It was,
Wait a second,
it was
now,
a guy that killed him.
Now is Gregor Horath related to, because the same last name, Xander Horath, which was Cordon's squire?
Great man, that little boy.
I knew my square couldn't be all bad.
But was Gregor somehow related to him? They have the same last name.
Cousins by marriage.
Ah.
But Hezebel, whilst I appreciate your enthusiasm, we've done a lot for you, but so far you haven't done anything for us, so why should we take you to the necropolis?
And the dragon looks like very, what's that word? Insulted. What have I done for you? I did not eat you, did I not?
We literally cured your madness, and I don't think you would have been the first dragon that tried to eat us.
And I thank you, and I say you can have this gold. And if you know anything about dragons,
Okay.
if you know anything
Oh, we
about
said-
dragons, if you know anything about bloody dragons, you would know that means a lot.
Oh, we
I
did
missed
not.
that last part
That
when
wasn't
Mike
clear
said it.
that you were giving us your
Yeah,
gold.
exactly. That else I wouldn't have said that. Because if she said that she was going to give us the gold, I would not ask that question. But I'll say, all right, that is acceptable, and I'm grateful as well that you're willing to part with your gold for this. And as the captain, I will welcome you aboard. But we cannot immediately set sail for the necropolis. That will be something we will have to do later.
Okay.
Is that acceptable, Jezebel?
And he says, you may have the gold, you may have that scale mail that I know that the little man is eyeing. But there is a dagger that you will find amongst the pieces that is stained red. Do not take it.
What is this dagger?
It is something that needs to stay here.
Very well.
And
I have no need for daggers, as I hold up my bare hands.
Hmm. How did you die again, Corbin?
I think I got a spear in the back for my Geigen.
A spear or a dagger?
I don't know. It was in my back.
And to be fair,
Can we have a look at the dagger?
To be fair, a spear could be turned into a dagger.
Could we have a look at that dagger? I'm not saying we want to take it. I just think it might be interesting to look at.
It needs to stay here.
Very well. I agree with that. And I would try to search for the dagger.
After a few moments, you find it buried underneath a bunch of gold. And you can tell it's like the blade itself is stained red. You've been in enough battles that you know that this is definitely blood. And give me... Oh, go ahead.
No, I want to do the check first.
Yeah. Give me kind of like a history check or something like that. You know that this is a dagger.
All right, and I will ask Corbin. Corbin, can you come over here and see if you recognize this thing?
All right, I'll take a look at it.
Give me a history with advantage. You also know that this is a dagger.
Leslie is gonna go look.
Meanwhile, Corbin will tell V that she's been given permission to gather the treasure, so I'll pick up the chainmail and start gathering treasure.
Yeah. As soon as you say that, she's up and about and flying around and diving through the gold and the silver and.
V, that is not for you. Remember that, please.
I think there's more treasure we can carry on this island.
She lets out a very, very loud hiss. Arcadia, you know that this dagger, just looking through like maybe some history books or picture books, you know, as the Amazons aren't that right. You know that this was Geigen made.
Actually, she would know that because the Geigans were the ancient enemies of the Amazons, so she would probably know that.
Yeah, you know that this is Geigen made.
That's
what she would
definitely
say,
the
that-
thing that killed Corbin.
This looks like a dagger to me.
Navcats, what did you mean? If I don't,
I'll ask
you
Looks
need
like
to
it would
listen to
slot
the
nicely
playbacks.
into your
Or
bag.
at least
I'll
epic something. What do you mean by that?
Hezball, I'll say, is that what killed me? And why must it stay here?
That disgusting thing cannot be let out into the world again.
I would prefer not to be stabbed by it again, that's for sure.
I will cast Detect Magic on this dagger.
Okay, Link is that again? I didn't even know he had detect magic.
I know, right?
And you kept giving Gravik shit.
I'm not telling anyone that I can do it, so.
Yeah.
But it is on the Paladin spell list.
Nothing turns up.
Well, doesn't look like it's that valuable to me. Let's leave it here.
Well, we'd leave it here anyway.
Alright, how much gold can we gather?
So Vengeance says, "This isn't enough. We need more." As eventually you get 5,000 gold and 30,000 silver.
Wow.
Give me a second. I'll put that in there.
30,000 silver.
Yes.
Oh, that's 3,000 gold.
And Corbin will make sure he grabs his armor.
Yes. Give me a second for that. Let me find that really quick. Where is the parcel items? Dragon scale mail. Scale. It's very fancy looking, actually. Here's a picture.
Ooh, nice.
It is a very
Dragonlord
fancy,
armor.
very fancy.
So
that
he's
is
not
the parcel.
gonna. So he won't. So he won't be wearing his breastplate anymore. He's switching to this then.
Yeah, might be a breastplate. I have to see what it does, but I assume it's better.
It is in party sheets. And actually, it is. To make it easier, let's do. There, it's black dragon skin metal. There you go. It's in pretty sheet.
Jesus, nice.
Maybe Corbin can stop getting the crap kicked out of him.
Where did we get these shambling vines?
Oh yeah, those were we had them on the Ultras.
Oh wow.
I was gonna make something with it, but I forgot, so I'll put them back in the hold.
Yeah,
I was gonna make rope of climbing from it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can make that. While we're on the Ultros, and is Hezebel, did we get him on?
Yeah, how are we getting Hezebel up on here?
We could ask. I know Gravik said he's holed
Well,
up
we can
in
make a
his-
pulley.
Right.
You know that thing that we use to get the boat aboard. We can use that to like a crane thing to lift Hezebel, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe we could, or just even hold the pulley down and can't
Or
the dragon
feed her
kind of
that
use
potion and feed her that potion and I don't know, carry her.
Make sure
Well,
it's
that
ocean
wouldn't-
compliant. I'm joking.
Well, we'd have to see if Gravik would want to give up his potion because he doesn't want us to use his spell slots. Would be pretty mad. Remember when Steve got really mad when we used his Keatom's ointment?
Oh my god.
Well,
Yeah.
does he have it
really
on his
mad.
spell list to cast? I know he doesn't want anything, but you know we can't wait until he comes back, so we do have to do
Just have to
something
float
here.
next to the boat until we can get Gravik.
Grab air. I'll just DM it. Gravik will give up the potion because remember he only wanted to use it because he thought it could make him big.
Yeah.
So we'll eat it.
And then we just hoist it up with the crane.
Okay. And the crew come and they kind of make some of them come up and treasure. Good job, heroes. That's a lot of treasure.
That's right. And who gets what is something to be determined at a later date.
Vengeance pipes up. You ain't getting shit.
Vengeance, remember the oath of the Dragonlords.
I took no oath to.
Yes, you did.
I took no oath to the crew.
Before you were born.
Not to the crew.
That's true. Well, we'll discuss the money later when we have left the Nether Sea. But I intend to keep my promise, and as promised, that you will in the future receive a portion of that hoard, as I said.
That should make them happier. Morale should be greatly improved.
And, standing orders, the dragon is our guest here aboard. And, leave it alone a little bit. Like, don't bother it or test its patience. Just pretend that it's a wild animal that could eat you at any moment.
But it's still little. And it has no wings.
Now. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff you shouldn't be saying to a dragon. If you somehow talk to or about the dragon and it eats you, I will not punish the dragon.
So you hear some commotion from below deck. And someone says, what's wrong with Kyra?
Go down.
Arcadia's gonna go rush down to her room because
Same.
we did this last time.
And she's don't come in, and it's coming like a kind of pipsqueak voice.
Arcadia will stand outside the door and say, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Do you want me to just come in?
I don't want anyone to see me like this.
What happened?
You may come in. Just don't laugh.
Okay. So, Arcadia motions the other people to move back, and then she'll come in the door.
I'll stand in front of the door to guard it.
Corbin barges into.
Wow.
Don't laugh.
Arcadia looks incredulously at her, and she says, "Well, actually, you don't look much different than in pickle form. But what happened?"
See, I was trying out some new spells, and one of them backfired.
So, can you undo this?
I think so. But I don't... I think it just wears off in time.
Is there anything I can get you in the meantime?
I really want juice.
Okay. Any type? Or what type do we have on the Ultros, I guess? Do you have juice in the Ultros?
You have apple juice and pickle juice.
She asked her what kind of juice you want.
I want orange juice.
Sorry, but we don't have that. It's either apple or pickle.
Pickle? I like pickle. I'm Pickle Kyra.
Okay, is there anything else I can get you?
No, how was the trip?
There is someone on board who is not quite fond of you, but,
What else is new?
tell me, why does Jezebel not like you?
Her eyes narrow. And even this, like, a cute-ass little dragon, she looks very ferocious. You telling me that prick is still alive?
Yes, well, he just gave us all his treasure and Corbin some fine armor in exchange for curing his madness. But that still didn't stop him from being angry at you. He said that his Dragonlord Gregor, it was his idea to have Corbin killed. Is that true?
She lowers her head.
So then why would Hezebel have a problem with you? Is it because of Esther?
She sighs. No, it's something a lot more simple than that.
Jealousy?
How do you say, he doesn't like being told, he doesn't like, I turned him down and he doesn't like this.
Oh, so his feelings were hurt because you didn't want to date him?
I mean, look at him!
Brutal.
So
Yeah,
that's probably why he gave you all his money so he can get onto the ship.
Well, what he really wants to do is go spit or something at Gregor's grave.
She nods. That makes sense.
So anyway, just try to keep the two of you apart. I will, unless you need anything else, I will go fetch your juice.
Thank you.
So Arcadia comes out and says, just a temporary thing. I'm just going to get her some juice.
Really? You're getting her juice?
Yeah, she's thirsty and she doesn't want to come out.
All right.
What he really wants is Bouch. Exactly.
Corbin would ask Arcadia or Nico if they can use medium armor made of dragon scales.
That nice armor that you just got?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want it?
It's very close to the one I got. The breastplate of Mitros is the same AC. And it
I think the breastplate of Mitros is better, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And you got that from Xander, didn't you?
Yeah, I got that originally.
Look at the rest of what that scale mail does, though. It's not just the AC.
I want to look at it too, but Corbin already stole it.
I can put
Yeah,
it
I know.
back.
I was totally going to look at it.
Yeah, I was trying to look at the stats. Can you share it?
There.
It's in party sheet, back in party sheet.
Okay, so it's 15 AC, right? Yeah. Frightful. While you gain, and you have
Keeps me from
advantage
being
on
afraid.
resistance to acid damage,
Yeah.
and save against presence and breath weapons.
Wow, that's big.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, this is much better.
Although
Advantage-
the breastplate of Mitros gives advantage against Titans.
And you can also discern the closest dragons within 30 miles of you.
I thought it was only black
Oh,
dragon.
that is good.
That is the
Yeah.
same type. Yeah, it's the same type.
You took it back. Blank.
Yeah. It's the same armor class, but this black dragon skill mill is better.
Well, then can someone use the breastplate of Mitros?
I don't know if Sketh would listen to this. He might not, but when I was ridiculing him when he said, "Oh, I don't want a wand of the wormage because it looks like you're a child wielding a wand," and I was like, even though it'll give you better protection or whatever, but Arcadia is the same way about armor. Even though I don't know, breastplates will give you disadvantage during stealth, won't they?
Nope.
Or will they not?
They're the
No?
one thing that don't. Yep.
Yeah,
I think,
but she's.
yeah.
I don't know. She's funny about that. She does not want to lose her Amazon identity. She
Nico-
likes her Amazonian armor.
I think Nico can wear a breastplate.
Ah, cool.
It's
Well,
medium
next
armor,
time we
right?
next time we long less, it's medium armor. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
If it doesn't offend your
'cause-
druidish senses.
No. Oh, wait a minute.
No,
I
that's
can't wear
actually
it. Yeah,
non-canon these days.
Yeah, I can't wear it.
You can.
It's non-canon. It is up to you, basically, how I leave it. Like, it's kind of like, you know how, like there's, God, how I'm trying, like the Amish. There you go. Like, you got some sort, like, one part of the Amish are, like, strict, it's like, nothing like this, and then you got some other, like, Mezanites, I think, who are a little bit more relaxed. So, it's totally up to you.
Come
That's a pretty
on,
cool way to handle it.
Nico, you can use the zipper. Go on, give it a try.
Yeah.
We'll rub some leaves on it.
The internet isn't gonna kill you, Nico.
Can you wear the vine tunic underneath it?
I don't think so, maybe?
Well, clothes are part of any armor, so you could probably just wear clothes
Well, that's what I was
underneath
thinking
it.
is like the dragon scale armor he could probably wear because it's not made out of metal.
But I think isn't that what you call it? Yeah, it's attuned.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna have to wait till we rest for sure, one way or the other.
The scale mail Nico has is made of
Purple petrified wood, right?
ironwood,
Mm-hmm.
Nico's got drip.
but it's not magical.
But it's not magical or attunement. Like he has 3 things that are attuned already.
Yeah, and I got 3 things that are attuned. So.
Well, the Pegasus Bridle, you'd have to, I guess, probably go find the Pegasus again or call it.
Yeah, I know. So.
But why would the Pegasus bridle be attuned to you?
In case we run into the Pegasus. In case we run into.
I run into another Pegasus.
Yeah, but shouldn't you be giving it to the Pegasus?
I haven't come across.
No, he uses it because it's just like horses. It's a saddle. Like he
Oh, it's like a summon thing. It's like a summoned mount kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess you can unattune the bridle.
No, we'll have to wait for a long rest before we even think about doing that anyway.
Yeah, I'll take the breastplate.
All right. Are we going to do anything else today before we
Well,
rest, or are we going to?
See, and that's extra cool because if he has to fight Lutheria, Titans have disadvantage on their attacks.
Yep.
And that could come in very handy.
I'll definitely take the breastplate.
Somebody should be wearing a breastplate. Like I said, it's almost better than the Black Dragon scale mail.
If Nico was a
some ways.
fighter, Lutheria would be shitting her pants right now.
And Hezebel will let you know that she goes to the river Leif every day to water her gardens on the ship. The river Leif you have already been to, way up yonder.
Oh yeah, well, like we saw the barge come by as well, right?
Does Hezebel know anything about these giant monster weapons that she can tell us?
He will say that he's seen one, but he's never been inside.
I think we have 1 point of interest left on this map.
And what did it look like? You said you've seen one.
It looks like a big cube.
Yes.
Okay. And while we're here, Arcadia goes up to Corbin, and she has 3 beautiful gemstones in her hand, and she said, Queen Darian wanted you to have one of this, and I'm giving you the choice of what. They all look equally valuable, but one is brilliant blue. It's a blue sapphire, but a star sapphire, so it has a star in it. And the other one is a blue sapphire, and the other is a yellow sapphire. And so, which one would you like?
These are just gems.
Mm-hmm, but they're worth 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh, and who wanted us to have these?
Queen Darian as a thanks for her for your help.
I will ask Vengeance which one she likes the best.
So I'm assuming you've seen the cartoon Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
So Apu and her.
Looks like Abu.
Yeah, she looks like Abu right now.
Yeah, one is translucent blue sapphire with a white star-shaped center in the collar, and the other one is a transparent fiery yellow or yellow green. And the
I
other
will
one
take the
is
blue one and I will hand it to Vengeance.
okay, and the other one is just a transparent blue-white. Do you want the one with the blue or the one with the star in it?
I don't want the star in it.
Okay. Let me find it. Here we go. I'm putting it in the party sheet.
And Vengeance will grab it and haul ass back down into the bedroom.
I'll say, don't lose that.
You'll never see it again as she flits away.
Then she would go to Nico and show him the beautiful blue sapphire and the gorgeous yellow sapphire and say the same thing that Darian wanted him to have this as a thanks. And which one would you like?
Oh, that pretty yellow one.
Something I thought that, and so she's going to give that to you.
What about Demetrius? You ain't getting shit.
She's doing this out of Demetrius's sight so he doesn't notice. And then she'll eventually give the other one to Gravik.
Ooh.
Well, that's what she said.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can wait. I should wait until he's actually physically here, but she would deliver it, but then ask him to identify the arrows.
Okay. Well, that would do what it is.
Well, we have one point of interest left on the map, right? And that's this final thing down here, or is that just like the exit?
Oh, that's just the exit. That's the Charybdis.
There's another
Right.
cube.
Oh,
though,
wait,
right?
wait. You said what? That's Charybdis?
Yeah, right, like right there.
That's where
Yeah,
one of the seals is then.
Well, but you
Fantastic.
didn't say that our whirlpool was named Charybdis. Do we
One
know
in
that?
Charybdis, so the seal
Yeah,
must
because
be
the
in that
seal
whirlpool,
is in
right?
there. Yeah, I would have.
That's the whirlpool you came down through.
Right.
So one of the seals must be down here in the Nether Kingdom,
I guess.
Nether Sea, and I bet it's on Lotharia's barge.
Would I do that?
Well,
Would you?
Let's go to this other. Let's go to this other cube. Well, let's look at these whale-like creatures. Because I know we originally said we didn't want to investigate further, but we have, after all, been finding things in every place, at least information. So check it out.
All right, I guess we can set sail over there. I would ask the crew.
And they do. And they do not bitch about it. Like, you get there fast.
Nice. I would. I assume that we're seeing a cube here.
Yes.
Huh. Should we try to go in?
I will.
Do we have? Well,
fly
wait.
up to the-
Are the whale-like things there, or we don't have to worry about them?
You don't have to worry about that.
I'm flying up to the top like we did before and seeing if there's another same entrance.
There is. And there is a word imprinted on there. Let me do this. You do not understand it. And then there is a picture of a like a beast, I guess you could say, of a head.
Is it a kraken?
I think we're gonna need Gravik for this one. He's gonna have to use his comprehend languages.
But Demetrius
can
has
do
that
that.
too.
Oh, Demetrius has that. Demetrius.
Let's see. Yeah, I still have a first level spell slot.
But Demetrius can't read.
Well, they'll just do the Vengeance Corbin thing.
Yeah. Vengeance. I gave you a nice gem. You get the rear. You get the rear.
No, I was saying he can't read though.
But if he
No,
does
that's true,
comprehend
but,
languages,
Exactly. That's why he has the spell.
I'm confused.
I'll sharing is caring. It doesn't share.
It allows you to read and speak it.
It puts the meaning of the word into your mind without that you need to be able to read it.
So you don't even need to read. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you have to touch the text. It only works if you touch it, and then you somehow understand the literal meaning of it.
All right, so you get up there, you cast a spell, and it says Fang, Fang, and it shows a picture. It shows a picture of a head of a creature, like an engraving, with a large snout and several teeth and two massive long horns coming from its head.
I will describe that to the party, and I will say I think this is another demon prison with some monster in it.
Speak the word so we can go in.
Well, do we want to go in here?
I think it's worth checking out.
Might
all
be
right,
another weapon.
Maybe this is a good weapon.
I will say Fang. I think this is another monster, to be fair.
The door does not open.
You gotta think it.
What do you mean, think it?
I had to think it last time.
I will try to think the word Fang in my head.
The door does not open.
I think we need a key like the one the Titan gave us.
The key was a word. Maybe we need to go back to the island and ask him about it. Maybe he can answer the question why Orcus is involved.
If we're going to be doing that, I think we should check the other cubes as well. Maybe they have not a monster inside, but an actual weapon.
Okay, what else haven't we just checked out? The two to the far north?
Yeah.
That's also
The one
where
up north
Lutheria
there.
is, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, maybe we should just go in the corner here, take a rest, deal with Lutheria, and then deal with that barge thing, and then maybe come back to these cubes later. Maybe we can find some keys or some stuff on her barge.
Maybe, but I thought the whole purpose of releasing these things would be to help us with Lutheria, but...
I think they will do that, but at the same time, they will also destroy the entire planet, so...
Well, that's just that one thing. That's just spite.
Yeah, that's just Spike. We don't know about the others.
Okay, well, we don't have a way in.
I agree. For now, we need to... Well, we might be able to get in if we go back to the island and ask, because the other guy helped us get into the other cube. He could probably help us get
How
into
long
this.
would it take to get back to that island? At the speed, like an hour or something, or 2 hours?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because then we can maybe do it, if everyone wants to do it.
What, we're going back to the Titans?
Yeah, and asking him for the other keys.
Okay.
Okay, so I will ask I will tell the crew to set sail to this Titan island again.
Okay, you get there.
And I guess we go and ask the Titan about the other keys.
So you notice that the Titan has two toes freed now.
Huh. Interesting. I'll say, Great Titan, we used the key that you gave us to open one of the boxes. But there was a terrible monster inside that we could not in good conscience release on the world. What is in the other cubes?
I do not know. What other cubes are we talking about?
Do you have more keys for us?
Key? What key?
Fang?
Fang?
Words to allow us to enter?
Thinking back on that image of that monster I saw, do I think that description, that image, is about the same as Spike looked when we looked down at him?
No.
Okay. So you do not have further keys for us, Titan?
I do not know what you mean by key. I do apologize.
No problem.
The word you gave me to open up the prison.
Yes.
We have found another different one. Can you help us open that one as well?
I only knew of one. If there
We
are
know the word,
others.
but it does not open it. What is the difference between the word you gave me and the word we have discovered?
And to be fair, Corbin does not remember the word that he was given.
Yeah, but I know he gave him a word. He gave me a word, though.
Right. And the Titan will say, I do not know.
Do you suppose the same word would open it? Like a master key?
I think this is a waste of time. This guy doesn't know
Can you give me the
anything.
word again?
Only if you scratch my toe again, blah, blah, blah. I'm assuming he does so.
Yes.
He will give you the word again.
Alright, I'll say I can try it with this word. Maybe the word works on all the prisons.
Okay, I guess we sail back to Fang and go up there and Corbin tries the word.
The door does not open.
Dang it.
Yeah. And now Corbin has to forever carry that madness in him.
And he once again forgets the word.
Oh, he forgets it. Oh, okay. He forgets
So,
it the moment he speaks it.
Arcadia's gonna just investigate that door and see if she can find anything.
So you think you look at it pretty well. It's just metallic. It just seems like it had to slide open, but it does not seem it wants to budge whatsoever.
And we'll fly around the outside of the cube and see if there's any other way in.
There
I'll
is
go
not.
back to the ship.
There's no other way in.
Corbin angrily kicks the cube.
And you break a pinky toe.
Yeah.
Arr!
roll a con save, Corbin. Bye.
Should we go to whatever's to the north?
I think we should take a long rest and then go to the north.
Are we down a
Because-
lot of spell slots?
I am. And I'm down all my lay on hands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gravik was quite concerned about his spells too.
I mean, unless
don't get used.
people disagree, I mean, if you guys all want to go, I can go, but I think before we enter Lutheria's barge, we should be at full power.
No, I agree. If that's what we're gonna do.
That's like the only thing left, right? I mean, we can go to the other cube, climb it, find out we don't have the key, and waste another bit of time.
I want Gravik to come out on deck and fire off all his spells though first.
And you get
With-
and you realize about 24 hours have passed since you, the three of you or four of you, says last spin that wheel.
So can we take a...
Last spun the wheel of fortune.
Oh yeah, we need to do that.
Also, is that goat still? I've been meaning to say, is that goat still following Arcadia?
Yes.
And she's like, what? Why is this goat following me?
I just
one of
put
you-
it back in the hold with the
Did
other
one of you-
goats.
Was it the goat that was with Gravik?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
So
so.
we roll a D100 for the wheel, right?
It is. Give me a second here.
But hold on,
Yeah,
should we
they
first
do.
take a rest and then spin the wheel?
Doesn't matter. It lasts 24 hours.
Okay, but before we go to rest, I still have a few things I want to do on the Ultros.
Okay.
Or I guess we can do it
Well,
after
not
the rest.
everyone. I mean, you guys don't all have to rest at the same time.
Yeah, I would like to call over Bront to... Oh yeah, he can't go below deck, can he?
He cannot.
Can his son?
It'd be very
Front.
tight.
Okay, I would ask Bront and his son to meet me at the officer's deck, and I would lower my voice and I would say, "Gentlemen, I have a request of you.
And they say, okay.
I need the captain's quarters completely secured. I want locks on the door."
And the two of them look at each other. Okay. Have you asked the locksmith? Or do you expect us to do it?
I thought that you might use your skills with crafting metal to fashion me some sort of lock and key, and then I can ask the carpenter to install it.
So like a deadbolt?
I need something that's good. I need something that you would trust your own door with, your own private chambers.
Well, if I were to do that with my own private chambers, I wouldn't use a little wooden door like you have.
Well, actually, the Ultros is extremely strong and almost invulnerable. But I understand. Do you have any ideas as to how I might protect the captain's quarters?
Protected from what? Is there something that we need to be worried about?
Not you, but me. I am going to be storing some valuable items there, and I have found that in the past people might be sending familiars or other creatures to the captain's quarters to spy on me, and I also need a place where I could discuss things privately.
Ah, so you don't trust your crew. I gotcha.
Oh, I trust my crew. I just don't trust wherever we land for something to come aboard or my many rivals.
Yeah, we could probably come up with something. We need obviously we need the material.
We have metal on the ship for you. I will have it delivered to you. I have golem cores and iron ores. I have 20 iron ore, and you can also use dragon bone and copper dragon scales if you want.
Okay.
In fact, how good are you at crafting? Can you make me a dragon bone door with a golem lock?
And he looks at you. You have them coin to pay for this, yes?
How much would it cost?
For you, 20
20 what?
gold.
Deal. I'll give him 50 gold.
And he thanks you.
Yeah. For your because you're a skilled craftsman, I think you deserve this much, and I'll give him 50.
And he thanks you.
And I'll say thanks for the effort. I can't wait to see what kind of door you can come up with. And I will make sure that he receives the copper dragon bones and the scales and also the golem cores and the iron ore that he needs.
Okay.
And then I guess I would go for my long rest.
All right.
Carbon's rolling the wheel wherever it is.
All right. Roll me a d20.
Oh yeah, it's 24 hours, so it doesn't matter if we roll it before or after, right?
Exactly.
So I'll just do it as well. There we go.
All right. So Corbin, you land on the twins.
I still don't have any idea what it means.
No, sir, you do not.
Do I feel any different?
You do not.
I'll tell Demetrius. We really need to figure out what the hell these things do.
You're right. And I'm planning to move it to the captain's quarters. The wheel. I don't think it's secure here.
Demetrius, you land on the spear, and you feel a little bit stronger, a little bit more dexterous.
Okay.
I don't think this thing works on me.
And
I feel something.
Nico, you land on the chariots, and you feel a little bit faster.
Something is happening, but I don't know what.
I never feel anything.
I'm going down in the hold to get some more grog. Anyone need anything? And he's gone.
And he's gone.
He's gone.
You just see his shadow there. His shadow's still here. Why is he fast?
I'm gonna go talk to Braun and see if he's made any progress on his artificer stuff. If he can do any of that stuff for me.
And Brant's like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. You guys just assumed he was an artificer.
I mean, he made these metal dogs, and he was like making special equipments, right? We found him in a workshop.
Yeah, you found him in a workshop, but he just assumed he was an artificer.
Did he give me a metal dog that he made?
Yeah.
Didn't he invent the?
There was a bunch of metal dogs and a bunch of stimfay.
Oh. Okay.
Or a bunch of like metal creatures, I guess, in stimfay.
I'm just saying it's pretty
so
logical.
he's not an artificer. He's something else.
Correct. Like he can make you like animals and dogs and crap, but yeah, because I was looking at that and I forgot to mention that to you guys like a couple weeks ago.
I mean, I think if you can make a metal dog, you can like at least make like simple things like a door. At least I hope.
Well, yeah.
Then while I'm there, I'll ask him. So what are you working on?
Captain asked us to build a door. Apparently, he doesn't trust the crew that much.
Well, he has been angering him quite a bit lately.
Yeah.
We literally have enough money aboard to buy a small city. I think a door is pretty warranted at this stage.
You're gonna keep all the gold in your quarters?
You're gonna keep it for himself, man.
We do
I'm just thinking
we do have a really jealous dragon guarding a lot of that gold, a portion of that gold.
if we look at the things happening on the ultras and the spies that we have had, I think a door is a pretty warranted idea. Maybe we need to get some kind of safe down there as well for the gold.
Maybe. Like, well, okay, but don't let the captain. Make sure he pays you well.
Yeah, he paid us 50 gold. Not bad. I only asked for 20 because I didn't want to piss him off because you know how he gets.
All right, Corbin's gonna go to bed.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna roll a D100. I would say 80 and up. Gravik will sneak out and roll the wheel. He does not.
He's too occupied.
Too occupied. All right, so we'll call it here. What do we want to do next week?
I guess we're headed up towards Lutheria.
Lutheria's barge.
Come to the barge. All right.
So we weren't going to go check out the things to the north?
What things?
Their point of interest? Because I'm not sure
We've checked every point of interest on the map.
Have we? In Gorgio? I thought there were 2 things way to the north.
No, you mean the cubes. But we don't have the key, so there's no point to checking out the cubes. But we've had all of the gray markers.
Okay.
So only the barge is left.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay.
Well,
So
I mean,
if only-
you're in charge of the recap, so you can you'll probably hear if we miss something.
No, I'm looking for the doors. So I guess that was the one with the water. The fresh water. And then the one where we are, that's with the cube we can't open. And then that's where Hezebel was. That's
the prison island over there.
That's the prison island. That's the cube with the giant lizard thing. That's the
that thing over there
is the island of the Oathbreakers. So I guess looking at it, so only the barge is left.
Yeah.
And she said she hangs out by the river to feed her garden.
And remember the 3 rules. If you could bring those into the next recap, that would be pretty chill, because I think we might need them. I don't think it's going to be
like we had the lab.
Yeah.
Well, I
don't think we're going to kick her down her door and kill her. I don't think that's how it's going to go.
Well, the 2 rules would be to laugh at her jokes, and the other is to let her win the royal game. But asking her to play will put her in a better mood too. So that was a new piece of information that we got from the Titan that we didn't get from Orestia.
So ask her to play, lose to her, and laugh at her jokes. And I guess use Titan's Bane to free the guy that's like carrying her barge.
Yeah, Talius.
Slice his vines.
I think we might need to be doing some druid sneaking next session. Like the rest of us distract Lutheria, and old Nico is going in his cat form.
That would be fun. I like doing that.
Cat Nico.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah.
The people, psst, 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 get out of here.
There he is, barge. It's just a garbage scow.
Maybe you'll run into Arcadia's hot mom. Who knows?
We know where Lutheria's mom is, right? She's on Dragon Island.
Allegedly.
Lutheria's mom
Somewhere,
is just... I
somewhere.
mean, Arcadia's mom is just the right age for Amitrius to date. Wouldn't that be something?
Oh yeah, that'll
Well,
go over good.
If we're taking the rest, I'm gonna throw the breastplate in the party sheet for you, Nico.
Oh, okay.
And then I will attune to the Black Dragon Scale Mail.
Okay.
What does the Wheel of Fortune do?
I wish I knew. We should have gotten some instructions on the damn thing. Paid a lot of money for something with it. We don't even know what the hell it does.
Well, I have some guesstimate to as what it might do. I think it increases one of our stats when we roll it because he keeps
And how come
going
every
on
time I
about
roll
like,
it, nothing happens? So it doesn't ever increase my stats.
well, there's 20 things and there's only like 6 stats. So I think 6 rolls are for stats. Then you might have a roll that increases your AC or your HP or something. At least that's the vibe I'm getting from the way Engorgio describes it.
And I will mention this when Amitrius and Nico wake up. Nico no longer feels as fast, and Amitrius feels less strong. He feels like he was before.
Does Corbin still feel the same?
He does.
Okay, so the guys that went for a rest lost their effect?
Or it wore off.
Okay.
I thought you could only do... Oh, maybe it doesn't... Maybe it only lasts 8 hours?
Depending on what you roll, because you still have an effect.
Maybe.
So
I
it's
don't know.
obviously a
I
table
never
with
felt
random
anything,
magic
so as far as
effects.
I know, I have no effect, but...
This
You'll find out.
so-
You'll all find out in due time.
That is some...
gave me some
So-
mad AC.
Yeah.
How much do you got?
I'm up to 20 now.
What the hell? You got more AC than Amitrius? Okay,
Wait, but
we have
doesn't
a
that
new
thing-
tank.
Oh, is it because you have extra? Because that breastplate only gets you up to 16, but then you have other stuff that will help
Oh,
with that.
I
probably
think
your
I know
dex.
where it's going wrong. You have a +4 to your dex, but your breastplate only allows you to have +2 dex bonus.
That's right.
So I think you should be at maximum 17.
That's what Corbin
That's the
was at.
maximum
Yeah.
possible with that armor, unless you have an outside buff.
I got a +1 shield.
Oh, that explains. So you, yeah, okay, that makes sense. The shield is 3 AC.
Yeah,
Damn, you are a beast now.
He's a beast.
that's right.
In fact, don't you also have more HP than Amitrius?
Probably.
I think you do. Yeah, you have 90.
Yeah,
You have
'cause
95.
I'm a hill dwarf.
So actually, you are now the best tank in the group aside from Corbin. That's even better
And he's a
somehow.
druid.
That's funny.
Yeah, and that's not even
Awesome.
using your forms.
Even Arcadia has more HP than Demetrius, but barely.
Poor me.
Amitrius isn't really a tank build. I mean, I do it, but he's pretty fragile.
That's funny.
Awesome.
He walks and talks like a tank, though.
Yeah,
He has the mouth of a tank.
yeah. Just not the rest.
Just get smacked around.
He's a glass cannon in disguise. He's pretending to be a tank, but his real strength is divine smite.
I will try to hold the creatures away from you.
So let me post this again. As we are coming up to the barge. Let's see, do I have a picture? I think I still have a picture somewhere. There's, I need to go through these pictures and get rid of some of the old ones. There it goes. Yeah, there's the barge.
Oh damn.
And that's where
Okay.
we'll pick it up next week.
Righty.
Is that also how the other Titan looked? Like a dude like that?
Well, the other Titan was stone, and he could. And
Yeah,
the other
but
Titan, and the other Titan could talk.
Yeah. But no, I mean like the size.
Oh,
like,
that's
this
oh,
type
absolutely.
of being.
Oh, absolutely. It's like he's 200 some odd feet tall. Like he's just walking.
Yeah. This is like the ultimate personification of like Greek lore. Like she put her own brother in this tortured position and making him drag this barge. That is insane. Like the depths of Lutheria's evil are truly like pretty insane.
Nasty. All right, we'll pick it up next week. I gotta go take a nap so I can get up and watch the Chiefs kick the shit out of the Bills.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I'll point out to the last game.
Nico will bet you 100 gold pieces.
I'll take that bet, as one of the crewmen. I'll take that bet.
All right. We'll see you next time.
We'll see how it
I
goes.
want to hear the results.
They'll be said probably about 10 hours from now.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Nico, you have accidentally become a filthy billionaire. You're accidentally gambling away someone's year wages. You're just casually, I'll just put $100,000 on that.
All right, stream.
My goodness.
We're done. Thanks for hanging out. No battle, and we'll be back next week. Take care.